Listen, I've been crawling under these so-called luxury SUVs all week. People are throwing 80 grand, even 100 grand at a shiny hood badge, thinking they just bought a mechanical masterpiece. But let me tell you what I actually see in my shop. Cheap cracked plastics, absolute electrical gremlins, and depreciation rates that would make your financial advisor cry. Entering 2026, the car market bubble is bursting hard. Dealership lots are overflowing with these heavy, overcomplicated chunks of metal that nobody wants to touch. Today, I'm exposing 10 luxury SUVs that are practically worthless right now. If you buy one of these, you might as well throw your cash straight into a fire. And just wait until you see the Italian masterpiece at number 1. I've seen grown men nearly tear up when I hand them the repair bill for that thing. Grab your tools, we're starting the countdown right now. Number 10, Audi Q8. Let us kick things that proves people will pay a massive premium, just for a slightly sloped roofline. The Audi Q8 rolls into the shop, and the first thing I do is shake my head. This is essentially a Q7 that someone took a hacksaw to, chopping off the cargo space, throwing the third row seat straight into the garbage, and then having the audacity to charge an average selling price of $85,000. You are literally paying $15,000 more than a Q7 for less utility, less headroom, and less practicality. And the market is finally waking up to this absolute joke of a pricing strategy. Right now, these heavy German land yachts are sitting on dealership lots gathering dust with a staggering market day supply of 270 days. That is 9 months of these things just baking in the sun because nobody wants to sign their life away for a compromised family hauler. Underneath, the suspension tuning and the packaging offer barely any difference in the driving experience compared to its cheaper twin. When these come into my bay, it is the same complicated Audi plumbing, the same frustrating plastic clips that snap, and the same expensive sensors. Buyers are realizing they are getting scammed, which is why the Q8 is practically glued to the pavement. Number 9, Infiniti QX80. Moving down the line, we have the Infiniti QX80. Infiniti finally gave this massive brick a full redesign for the 2025 model year after sticking with the exact same aging dinosaur platform for over a decade. They slapped on some modern tech, gave it fresh, and dropped in an upgraded twin-turbo V6 engine. You would think a brand new redesign would hold its value, right? Wrong. In just one single year, the outgoing models have completely crashed, losing 36% of their value. If you bought one fresh off the lot for its original price of $79,000, Therese, congratulations, you just set over $28,000 on fire. The depreciation is absolutely savage. But the real problem here is the brand itself. Infiniti is a luxury division in name only. They are struggling while Lexus and Acura eat their lunch. Dealerships are restructuring, sales are declining, and buyers have zero confidence that this brand will even exist in its current form a few years down the road. When I pop the hood on these, I see a Nissan that went to a fancy finishing school, but still suffers from the same underlying corporate corner cutting. When a brand is bleeding out, their flagship vehicles sink like a stone, and whoever catches this falling knife on the used market is going to be stuck with an orphaned luxury tank. Number 8, Genesis GV80. Next up is a vehicle that tries so hard to be a Bentley, but ends up being a mechanic's best friend because it practically lives in my service bays. The Genesis G580 is the brand's flagship, demanding anywhere from $58,000 to $90,000 of your hard-earned cash. It looks gorgeous on the outside, I will give them that. But pull off that shiny sheet metal and you are left with a mechanical and electrical nightmare. Consumer Reports literally stripped this SUV of its reliability rating, and I can tell you exactly why. Owners are experiencing catastrophic differential failures. Do you know how terrifying it is to have a major drivetrain component chew itself to pieces while you are hauling your family down the interstate? Add to that failing fuel pumps, fuel injection misfires, and a climate control system that just decides to quit when it is boiling hot outside. But the absolute worst part, the thing that drives me absolutely insane as a technician, is the parasitic battery drain. The electrical architecture on this thing is a disaster. I have read reports and seen cases where owners have come out to a completely dead battery 5 times in 5 months. Dealerships replace the battery, scratch their heads, and send the customer on their way, only for the car to brick itself again a week later. You are paying luxury German money for beta-tested Korean electronics, and the resale market is punishing it heavily. Number 7, BMW iX. If you want to see what lighting 100 grand on fire looks like, take a look at the BMW iX. This electric behemoth looks like it has giant beaver teeth slapped onto the front end, and the depreciation is even uglier than its grille. We are talking about an electric SUV that originally sold for over $105,000. I have seen guys buy these, drive them for just 18 months, and try to trade them in only to be offered $56,000. That is a $54,000 loss in less time than it takes to wear out a set of tires. And speaking of tires, this heavy electric pig eats through rubber like you would not believe. you are going to be dropping a fortune just to keep tread on the road. Inside, BMW decided to get cute and replace actual physical buttons with touch-sensitive surfaces embedded into the wood and plastic. Let me tell you, as a guy who wears work gloves half the day, there is nothing more infuriating than a car that relies on capacitive touch garbage to operate basic functions. Beyond the annoying interior, BMW dealers pushed aggressive lease deals to flood the market, meaning right now there is a tsunami of used models hitting the lots. Nobody wants a complicated, out-of-warranty German electric vehicle, making this one of the most toxic assets you can put in your driveway. Number 6. The Jaguar F-Pace. Buying this British crossover is essentially adopting a sickly child right before the orphanage shuts its doors permanently.
The depreciation numbers are enough to make your stomach drop. People who bought the F-Pace last year watched it shed a staggering 35.4% of its value, which translates to $28,000 vanishing into thin air, all in just 12 short months. Over 3 years, you are looking at a 56% value collapse. And there is a very good reason for this financial bloodbath. Jaguar as a company is going through a massive chaotic identity shift. They have openly announced they are axing multiple models and pivoting to an all-electric future, leaving their current gas-powered lineup completely orphaned. Why in the world would you sink your money into a brand that is openly abandoning the vehicle you just bought?
From a mechanic's perspective, working on these is pure misery. British cars have a legendary reputation for electrical gremlins. Infotainment screens glitch out, and sensors throw ghost codes that take hours to diagnose. The repair parts are incredibly expensive. You are buying a car from a brand in limbo with a depreciation hit that rivals a luxury yacht. Stay far, far away. Welcome to the pit stop. All right, let us pause for a second and wipe the grease off our hands. If you are really enjoying this breakdown, and these warnings from the shop floor are saving you from making a massive financial mistake, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. It tells me you appreciate the honest truth, and it helps push this video out to other folks who might be about to sign a terrible loan. Now grab your shop rag, because the vehicles at the top of this list are pure, concentrated financial ruin. Number 5, Land Rover Discovery. Starting the second half of our nightmare list is the Land Rover Discovery. If there is one brand that keeps my tools paid off, well, it is a Land Rover. This specific generation has barely seen any meaningful updates ever since 2017, and yet they still charge a premium for that little green oval badge. The original asking price for a fresh Discovery was around $61,375. Fast forward just 12 short months, and the value plummets to $42,595. That is a massive $18,780 drop, wiping out 30% of your investment long before you even get comfortably broke. Consumer Reports ranks this luxury near the absolute bottom of their dependability index. The electrical glitches are legendary. You will have dashboard lights lighting up like a Christmas tree for absolutely no reason. Then comes the drivetrain failures. Getting under the hood of a Land Rover is an exercise in pure frustration. Literally everything is packed in so tight, and it is engineered so very poorly, so that even a simple maintenance job turns into a multi-day teardown. The parts are astronomically priced, and the many labor hours that are required to fix their constant oil leaks and suspension faults, it will drain your bank account much faster than you can say British engineering. Number 4, Jeep Grand Wagoneer. At number 4, we have a vehicle that proves an automaker can completely lose its grip on reality. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer is manufactured by Stellantis, trying to play in the ultra-luxury sandbox, slapping an average price tag of $112,500 on a vehicle that still shares DNA with a Dodge. The market has completely rejected it. These behemoths are sitting on dealer lots for a record-breaking 463 days. That is well over a year of absolute dead weight. Under the hood sits the new Hurricane Twin Turbo Inline-6 engine. It sounds powerful on paper, but in the real world, it is an unmitigated disaster. We are seeing early reports of complete engine failures before the truck even hits 20,000 miles. Thermostats are failing, causing catastrophic overheating, and the turbos are leaking oil like a sieve. But the insult to injury is the build quality. For over $100,000, you get doors that sound hollow and cheap when you slam them. You get hard interior plastics that belong in a rental car, and in a stroke of absolute engineering incompetence, this massive 3-row family hauler does not even have roof-mounted air conditioning vents. If you live in a hot state, your rear passengers are going to be sweating bullets while you cry over the massive depreciation hit. Number 3, the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. The ultimate proof that the Mercedes-Benz electric strategy is a complete flop. The EQS was supposed to be the electric equivalent of the legendary S-Class. It is packed with screens, ambient lighting, and comes with an eye-watering original price tag of up to $136,650. So, how did the market treat this technological marvel? It nosedived faster than almost anything else on the road. In 1 year, it lost a staggering 47.8% of its value. That is roughly $65,000 burned to ash. Almost half its value, gone. Buyers take one look and walk away. Because it is shaped like a giant aerodynamic egg, it has absolutely zero road presence. Inside, despite the massive hyperscreen, the materials feel shockingly cheap and creaky for a six-figure Mercedes, but the mechanical nightmare is the weight. This electric blob weighs over 5,600 pounds. It absolutely devours tires. Owners are forced to replace rubber every 15,000 miles. And when you are buying massive 21-inch EV-specific tires, you are dropping $1,500. Between the massive depreciation, the constant tire replacements, and software glitches, the EQS is a flagship failure. Number 2, Land Rover Range Rover Sport. Taking the silver medal for catastrophic depreciation is another British disaster, the Land Rover Range Rover Sport. Over 3 years, this status symbol sheds 55.5% of its value. The reason is simple. It is a mechanical time bomb. The recent model years have already been recalled 5 separate times. We are not talking about minor software tweaks either. We are not talking about major mechanical defects, like the transmission oil pressure randomly dropping, which causes the clutch to literally shift into neutral while you are driving down the highway. Imagine doing 70 miles per hour in heavy traffic, and suddenly your engine is just revving, and you have zero power going to the wheels. It is incredibly dangerous for everyone. Underneath, the air suspension components are notoriously fragile. When the compressor fails or a bag leaks, the SUV drops down to the bump stops and rides like a wooden wagon. Fixing that air suspension out of warranty costs thousands of dollars. Nobody in their right mind wants to own a used Range Rover without a bulletproof extended warranty, which is exactly why the resale value falls off a cliff the second the factory coverage expires. It is a beautiful vehicle when it works, but it spends entirely too much time taking up space on my vehicle lift. The final boss, number one, Maserati Levante. Here we are, the undisputed king of worthless luxury, the absolute final boss of financial ruin, the Maserati Levante. This Italian tragedy loses an apocalyptic 71.9% of its value in just 3 years. You are taking a vehicle that costs anywhere from $92,000 to $130,000 brand new, and turning it into something with a worse resale value than a heavily used Kia Soul. Maserati sells you the romantic dream of Italian craftsmanship and a screaming Ferrari-derived engine. Works. But what they actually deliver is a parts bin Frankenstein that will financially ruin you. When this car rolls into the shop, I see the truth. The engine might sound like a Ferrari, but it also carries Ferrari maintenance costs. Prepare yourself for $3,000 brake jobs, $1,500 basic annual services, and tires that barely last 10,000 miles. But the real insult is the interior. You sit inside your 6-figure luxury SUV, and you are staring at window switches, headlight stalks, and an infotainment screen, ripped straight out of a $25,000 Dodge Dart. It shatters the luxury illusion instantly. And then come the electrical gremlins. The dashboard lights up like a pinball machine, with sensor failures, failing window regulators, and sticky interior buttons. Once the warranty expires, the Levante becomes a radioactive asset. Dealerships do not want them on trade. Private buyers are terrified of the maintenance, and auction values are in total free fall. Buying a new Maserati Levante is the fastest way to turn a massive pile of money into a highly stressful driveway ornament. There you have it, the absolute worst of the worst. Do not let a shiny badge, a fancy showroom, or a smooth-talking salesman trick you into buying a ticking financial time bomb. The data does not lie, and the nightmares I see in the shop every single day prove that modern luxury is often just an overpriced illusion. Were you surprised by any of the vehicles on this list? Or better yet, are you currently trapped underneath one of these depreciating disasters? Drop your stories in the comments below. I want to read what you guys are dealing with. And if you want to keep your wallet safe from the automotive industry's worst mistakes, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out in the shop today. I will see you in the next one.